Okay. Today we will see one more example related to the primary key and unique key. See, so far, right, like we created so many tables, and in the table we used to add one primary key, right? Like a student ID, user ID, employee ID. So these are the unique keys. So means it will take number, but that should be unique number. Okay. Okay. Say for instance, sometime, right, we want to enter the data into the table, and we want to consider two columns as a unique key. That we used to call it as a composite key. Composite key means, say for instance, we have a table. This is the first column, C1. Consider this is the ID, and C2 is the name, and C3 is the email. Okay, so anyway, ID will be generated from the database. Okay, and name and email will be provided by the user. The second and third column, the data will be provided by the user. Say for instance, so ID number is 1, name is ABC, email is abc@gmail.com, and the second record is 2 ID and name ABC, and email also he is trying to provide abc@gmail.com. So in this case, we should not allow these records. If these two columns are equal for two records, we should not allow that kind of records. We should not write data into the database. Basically, two columns we are trying to check every time whether these two columns values already there in database or not.
Okay.
So this one we used to call it as a composite key. Why? Because we are considering more than one column as a group as a key, primary key. So this one we used to call it as a composite key. So let me show the example so that you will get more idea. So here cfg.xml, there is no change. So here we have one HBM file and rest of things are same. So let me made it this one as a create. So we'll create from new table, fresh table. And first we will see, so this is a student class. So inside that we have a student ID, student name, address, and course ID. We have 4 fields.
Okay.
4 fields we have. What we are trying to do every time we are trying to save the student ID, I mean all the student details into the database. Okay. And how we are going to make the composite key? So that we have to go the svm.xml. So here if you see, right, the difference between the previous examples and this example is, right, I mean Hibernate mapping, package, student, these are same. So here, right, student ID will be taken from the Java class will provide the student ID. Here we are not generating the student ID. In previous example, we used to give the class native, increment, assigned kind of thing, right? So in this case, student ID will be provided from the user.
Okay.
So it is not generating from the database. So in this case, we have to provide this kind of validation.
Okay.
So why? Because it's a manual entry, right? Manual input, right? So they may give wrong inputs or they may give same input. So in this case, we have to provide composite key. If database will generate, means database will not generate duplicate numbers, correct? We can rely on that. But whenever if you are taking something from the user, so we have to provide this kind of composite keys.
What is the composite key again?
Composite key means, in this example, so we have a student ID and course ID. And some other name and address. So we are not able to save. If you mention like this, same student ID, same course ID, you are not able to enter details into 2 times. It will not allow. The course ID and student ID must be unique always in database.
Got it.
Same student cannot able to enroll for same course again.
Got it.
So that is the constraint here. So one student is not able to enroll for same course again.
Okay.
So that way we can able to maintain. So we should not allow the students to enroll again for the same course.
Okay.
So he can able to enroll for other course, but he is not able to enroll for the same course second time.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that way, so this one we are combining these two fields, and we are telling this is a key, like primary key, unique key. This is also one of the key called constraint, so composite key.
Okay.
So in that case, we need to mention composite -id. This is a tag, ending tag. Inside that, instead of property, we need to mention key property and Java field name and corresponding column name.
Okay.
Rest of the fields. Okay. And, let me run it so that you will get more clarity. Yeah, before running, see if you see here, right? What is the student ID? 103. And what is the course ID? 204. And
Yes.
name and address. We are not considering name and address. You can give anything, either same name or different name, doesn't matter. Here mainly we are concentrating on student ID and course ID.
Got it.
Okay, now let me run it and we will see. Yeah, see here it's saved, but I didn't enable that. What do you say? Show query is true. That's what you mean. You didn't see any generated queries.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, let me open the console. So what is the table name we had given? Student, right? So this is the student details what we created. Student ID. Student ID is 103 and course ID is 204. And student
Okay.
money and Bangalore something. Okay. Now what I want to do, I want to modify the CFG XML. So now I don't want to create new table. Just I want to add the entries. So in that case you can mention as update. So if I will run the same program again, it will not. It will not drop the table. It will try to enter the data. It will update the existing table. Okay. Now what I want to do, I'm not changing the data. For same student, I'm trying to enroll same course 204 again one more time. So student ID 103 for the same student. I'm trying to enroll same course again. Let me see. Let me run it and what will happen, we will see. So it will fail. So it will not allow basically.
Got it. Got it.
So it is telling 103, 204. It's already there in database.
Okay. Okay.
So what I will do, I will enroll for the same student, different course. The same student, I will
Okay.
enroll 205 course. Now let
Got it.
me run it. Now it's saved successfully. And now let me, if you see here, see always
Yes. Yes.
you compare these two columns, you will never find duplicate rows.
Got it.
If you run again back, it will fail. Why? Because 205 and 103, it's already there in our database.
Yes.
205 and 103. See,
So
205.
composite key is the combination of two keys,
You can give
right?
any number of columns.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
So combination for more columns.
more than one column.
Okay.
So right now here I had given only two columns. So you can add name also inside this. Right now property name is there, right? So if you want, you can remove here and you can add here also. You need to change here key underscore property, and so then these three will become a composite key. So if you try to enroll for the same student, then it will not allow.
Okay.
So basically in this case, right, this is table structure data, correct? So we have to recreate the table. This is the table structure we are changing. Structure will be created only first time when we are creating the table, correct? When we are creating the table, we define two columns as a key. Now in between
Okay.
we are trying to add another column, so it will not allow, it will not recognize. So what we have to do, we have to recreate the table with three columns.
Okay.
Now three columns will be, and let me make this as a show so that we can able to see the query also generated query. Now I'm trying to make three columns as a composite key. Yes, it didn't show the query. Okay, now let me go back. So you see 103, 205 and money. So what, and now let me run the same example again. Let me see what exception we will get. So sorry, we have to change this one to update. Otherwise every time it will drop the table.
Okay.
Now I will insert same record again. If you see here now how many values it is comparing?
Three values.
Three values it is trying to compare, same value. Now even though if you change the, let me change, you can change any one column now. You can change name,
Okay.
it will allow. Why? Because three values means three columns should not be unique.
Okay.
So now I will change name only, I will change only name. Name XYZ. Now I can able to insert. Why? Because three columns are not unique, right? So it will allow now. If you see here, these three columns are not unique, right? These two are unique, but this is different.
Okay.
So that way we can able to compare, or we can able to maintain unique number of columns for any number of columns as per our requirement. So this one we used to call it as a composite key, and this is also very important one. When we are doing the development, you will get this kind of requirement.
Okay.
This is clear, right? This example.
Yes.
Okay. Now we will see one more example. This is related to queries. The second example is related to queries. So you can write any number of query, the select, insert, update, join, or whatever, and we can able to execute it.
Okay.
And criteria. So how we are going to add conditions. So far we are selecting the table. We are selecting the records from the table. Select star from all the records we are selecting, but we are not applying the conditions. I want to display the records in a particular order, and ascending order, descending order. I want to apply this condition, so that we are going to see more conditions.
Okay.
Data retrieval part basically.
Got it.
So the second example also, it's very important. So far we are trying to just save the data. Now we are going to see how to retrieve the data by applying more conditions. So here the CFG XML, there is no change.
Okay.
So I will not do here create. Why? Because I don't want to create new table, just I want to retrieve that data. So just I will make this one as update. Okay, let me create it. This is the student table, basically student ID, student name, and course ID. The same
Okay.
example I am using, the previous example. The previous example, whatever we used to write, the same example I am trying to use it here. Now let me
Got it.
update
Okay.
some more records for the student table. Why? Because in student table right now we have only 2 records. Let me add some more records. One not 427 PQR. Okay, we have now 6 rows. So we can able to perform some search criteria on these records. Okay, now we have a test data is ready. Now how to retrieve the data by applying some more conditions. So that one we are going to see as part of next example.
Okay.
So here Hibernate CFG .xml, there is no change. And student table, it is like a same whatever we discussed. Student ID, name, address, and course ID. And the student.hvm file, here also there is no change. So here, I mean, so composite key, basically here, right, we are not inserting any data, so it doesn't matter. Just we are trying to retrieve the data. So here also there is no change,
Okay.
and the change is here only in main class. So here the first one, session factory, session transaction, there is no change. Okay, first
Okay.
let me comment out everything, commented everything, and let me enable this one.